All right, everybody, this is Kiwi from the Outdoor Apprentice. Today we're going to do a bit of a cooking video, and it's been inspired by Fan Debbie Dosie's survival biscuit, survival food video. So thanks to Fan Debbie Dosie for putting it out there. I've really enjoyed it, and we make our version of it, and this is it. So the ingredients that we need plain flour, suet, beef suet, pack of chocolate, some oats, some salt, some nutmeg, and some cinnamon. So you need 2 cups of flour and a cup and a half. We use 2 cups of flour and a cup and a half of oats. We use a couple of teaspoons of nutmeg and cinnamon, and probably a teaspoon of salt, and a whole block of chocolate because I like chocolate, and a whole box of suet. Right, so basically what we do, welcome to my messy kitchen, is we take a pan, and I've got one here, look at that, and we put the suet in. Now you can get suet from all kinds of places. We just buy it ready-made because it's easier. It's not as cheap as it used to be, but this is the way we get it, and it doesn't look very good, but trust me, it looks good when it's in there.
It actually smells amazing though.
It does smell kind of good. It's a bit weird considering it is literally fat. Sorry, excuse me a minute. I have to make stand of stuff. Right, so heat it slowly on a low heat and let it melt. Try not to get it to burn, because that's the last thing you want, is a burnt flavoured fat.
Yuck.
So it literally just slowly melt it down. While that's doing that, we'll put some of the ingredients.
Hi, Stan.
If you can see this wire trailing everywhere, you must excuse me because my phone is actually on charge while I'm doing it. Because I don't have enough charge. So, cups wise, I generally use a clean coffee cup.
Or tea.
Or a tea cup, yeah, but coffee cup.
Hot chocolate.
A mug. So like I said, we want 2 plain flour to 1.5 oats. These are rough measurements. There's no physical measuring out apart from the fact that it's in a cup. So it's either sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less.
Either way, it still tastes the same.
Yep. All comes out in the wash. So 2 of these in a bowl. Mix the dry ingredients.
You need the wooden spoon.
I will do in a minute. Okay.
Did you wash hands?
Yes, I washed my hands.
Just asking.
Please always follow health and safety requirements when cooking, because you don't want to get food poisoning. Okay, so our tub of oats. All our ingredients are literally cheap ingredients we buy from the supermarket. Aldi, Tesco's, all the major brands. Other brands are available. Other shops are available. You can go wherever you like.
Gotta be half, isn't it? Like 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5-ish. So 1.5-ish. Okay. I've got my survival t-shirt on today.
It's an AC/DC shirt.
It's a survival t-shirt, AC/DC, because you always have to be powered up. It's a rock and roll joke. Don't worry about it. Right, so mix the dry ingredients. We will need a little bit of salt and a little bit of flour later. Sorry, flour and oats later. 5 mils of sugar.
Sugar?
Salt, sorry. And I know this is a sweet recipe,
Still not
but
so.
it does helps. Surprisingly, I was like, why would I put salt in something that's sweet? But it actually helps with the flavour quite a bit. Right, now, I want the big one. That's a 10 mil. I'll use the 10 mil. So this is a 10 mil measuring spoon. I actually want 15, so
1.5. Or we can use the little one again.
yeah, we will. Excuse me a minute. This is going to be a bang. It's been a while since we used the nutmeg. And it's coming into pumpkin season, so as you can see, I'm not really measuring this. This is making more of a mess.
At least it's over the bowl.
But it's over the bowl, so that will do. One of those. Yeah, there's cinnamon. Cinnamon.
You said one of those.
Yeah, well, I'm being liberal today. There's 2 tins of these for cinnamon, 1 of these for nutmeg, 1 and a bit for nutmeg, because obviously I spilt some, so that's fine. But it doesn't matter, like I said. And you can make these however you like. You can make savoury ones, you can make sweet ones. Please visit Fan Dabby Dozie's YouTube channel and have a look at his video on how he makes these, because there's a lot of information in it that I'm not going to give about how he came to the idea of these, because these are literally his survival biscuit. So it is worth a watch. I recommend going over and having a look. If you've not heard of him, he's a Scottish bloke, a young lad who has been doing YouTube for some time, and he does a lot of 17th century recreations on stuff from the Highlands. So it's all very, very interesting. Right, let me just have a quick look at the suet. Go over to the suet. As you can see, if Maya points the camera down, as you can see, it's starting to melt. Okay, and that's what we want. We want to get this to melt completely. It looks almost like caramel, but I know it isn't. It will melt ever so slowly. We'll leave that carrying on. Next thing, block of chocolate. I like to use a mixture of white and milk chocolate because I have a sweet tooth. Today we're going to use milk chocolate only because that's what we've got.
You bought 2 milk chocolates.
I bought 2 milk chocolates because they didn't have any white. That doesn't matter because they still taste good with milk chocolate in. This does get, I'm going to be honest, it does get a little bit messy when it comes to mixing, but that's the fun part. And if you've got kids, please let them help because they'll have so much fun making these. I know Maya loves doing it.
I got mad the last time he didn't let me because he was doing it on his own while I was at school.
Yeah. So today she's going to be getting her hands dirty and I'll be taking over the camera. So you'll be able to watch her mix it all up. Obviously, we start with the spoon. So basically how this goes is you add the dry ingredients, including the chocolate. Do I normally add the chocolate after I mix the stuff in? Doesn't matter. And it will be, because there's not a lot of suet, that reminds me, how much is in there? That's enough. Need a little bit of hot water to help bind it together. So as you can see, I'm just breaking the chocolate up into single pieces. It all goes in. The water doesn't have to be boiling, it just has to be warm to help bind the suet and stuff together in the flour, because there's not enough suet.
The egg isn't needed.
No egg, it's just flour, oats and suet and a little bit of water. And then whatever ingredients, you can use raisins, you can use, I did try to make savoury ones, but they didn't come out very well.
Needed cheese.
They did need cheese, but I don't think cheese would have been very good. Right, as you can see, this is melted, okay? And that's how you want it. You want it just melted, just slightly warm.
Looks a bit too much like caramel.
Looks a lot like caramel. Turn that off because I don't need it on anymore. Right, now the fun part. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to add the suet. This looks really gross, by the way. But so we add the suet rather quickly.
It's going to harden.
Because it will harden quite quickly. And we give it a bit of a stir. And in a minute, Amaya's going to take over from me because she's going to mix all this up. I'm just going to get it started. It should go clumpy. It looks almost like bits of chunk of caramel. It is meant to do that, and that's why you need. See, as you can see, that the chocolate. Thank you. Chocolate's already starting to melt. Try and break the suet down as much as you can, just to get it to all mix in. And now I'm going to hand you over to my favourite assistant.
Yeah, only assistant.
My camera personnel, my judge, my jury, and probably my executioner if she had the chance.
Maybe.
Right, I'm going to hand you over to Maya. Little bits of water at a time. Not too much. Right, Maya's going to take over. I've got the camera. So go for it, Maya. Start stirring. We'll start stirring with a spoon first. Yeah. Here's the hot water. So what she's trying to do is get it into like a dough.
Look at all the chocolate.
Yeah, and all the chocolate's melting. We should put the chocolate in after anyway. I found from experience that if you put the chocolate in once you've got it to the doughy stage, the chocolate doesn't melt so quickly, so it stays as in chunks in it. But today it's going to be more like layered in amongst it. Right, a little bit more water.
Yeah.
Excuse my arm. Trying to keep my arm out of the shop. I'm going to want to start kneading that in a minute. What you've got to try and do is make sure you get all of the dry ingredients mixed in with the wet ingredients so that you get a biscuit, like a batter mix, kind of.
Like a cookie dough.
Like a cookie dough. That's probably a better word for it. Yeah, I'd go to your hands, mate. This is the bit that she likes because she gets to get her hands dirty and then gets to lick her fingers.
No, I probably shouldn't.
Well,
it's not very sticky, is it?
do you want some more water in there? Yep. Mind my hand again. Trying to keep my hand out of the shop. A bit more hot water.
Got to directly avoid it this time. It's kind of
right. Well, you can use the spoon if you need to.
Actually, it's not that bad.
Okay.
Stick.
It will. As you can see, it's actually turning into a kind of dough. If Maya would hold it still.
And brown.
It will do because you've got all the chocolate coming off.
And on my fingers.
Yeah, that's fine. You'll get to lick them later, won't you? That's it. You know what I've got to do?
What?
Turn the oven off. Keep going.
Oops.
Oven tray, rather, not a dish. Right, how are you getting on? You see, now this is what we want. Yep, so that's what you want it to look like-ish, okay? I know it looks a little bit brown and stodgy and stuff, but trust me, when they cook, they come out amazing. Right, pop that back in. Right, so if you want to quickly, do that off camera. I need some brown paper out of here, some greaseproof paper. Excuse the jogginess of the camera. So what we're going to do in here is we're going to put a handful of oats, maybe a little bit more, just enough to cover the bottom of the bowl, and some flour, because we're going to coat these in...
Have I got anything on my chin?
No. We're going to coat these in a little bit of flour and oats. You'll have to come this side because the cord's wrapped around me. Thank you. Okay, so moving Cat again because he's in the way. You're always in the way, aren't you, mate? He lives on that box. He's old, he doesn't like to move around a lot. So basically all I've done is a good dollop of oats and flour mixed together to make a, what's the word? Coating. Coating would be a good word. That one's hot. Okay. Like I said, excuse the mess. A little bit of light so we can see what we're doing. Okay. So on the greaseproof paper with your oven heating, this is the messy bit.
You grab a chunk of it.
You grab a handful. Okay. You throw it in, cover it in flour and oats so it doesn't stick. Flatten it out.
To about a finger.
Yeah, you want it to be about a finger thick, okay, and about the size of your hand. All right. Lay them on there. They go in the oven. The trick with these is the way Fan Debbie Dozy does it. The trick with these is that you bake them for 20 minutes at 200, and then like a military biscuit, the C's biscuits, the 7 C's biscuits, they're baked for like another hour at 50 degrees. You don't have to do that bit, but it helps them dry out so that they'll last a little bit longer if you want to keep them. You can refrigerate, you can freeze them, or you can keep for a few. I think the longest we had them for was a week. Before they all got demolished and like we ate them all.
Because we remembered about them.
So just take big liberal chunks off, flatten it out, make it to like a biscuit, dump it in, turn it over, coat it nice liberally in the flour. Okay. We found that one batch normally makes about 6 of these.
Do you like my pose?
Very nice. Obviously, the last couple are smaller than the rest because I'm quite generous when I make these. There are other ways to make bannocks. This is just our interpretation of it.
Stan, I didn't mean to kick you, didn't see you.
Let's try and get some of this chocolate in. Right. Now, to waste not, want not. Sprinkle the remaining flour and oats over the top. Turn them over. Same again.
Pat, pat. That was a big pat.
Right. Okay. Right. They'll probably cook at different rates because they're thick, but 20 minutes. If you want to eat them straight away, cook them for 20 minutes once your oven's heated up, and that won't be long. And then you can eat them. Again, the extra hour at 50 degrees dries them out and makes them last that little bit longer. They are really good. And we'll pause the video here and we'll bring you back in 20 minutes. Welcome back, guys. The oven is now hot. It's been heated for 10 minutes, but it's now at 200 degrees. And these are about to go in for 20 minutes. So, mind your legs. So they go in the oven.
We did sneak sugar in them.
And we did sprinkle a little bit of caster sugar on the top, because when I tasted the spoon, it was a little bit bitter. So I thought, oh, we'll just add a little bit of sugar on top, because we've not done that before. So it's a bit of an experiment today. Hopefully that will crystallise on the top and make it all nice and sweet and crunchy. So now we need 20 minutes. Bring you back in 20 minutes.
Bye-bye.
Welcome back to the channel, to our cooking experiment. Our bannocks have now been in for 20 minutes. They are lovely and warm. They are now cooked. So you can eat them like this, as they stand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one and I'm going to break it open and show you. Oh,
very gooey.
They come out looking a little bit like that. Okay? Now, when that's cooled down, we're going to eat it. We're going to share it, me and Maya and I. And
can't touch the myself.
We'll give you a what?
Huh?
Can you eat yours what?
Huh?
Don't start that. Right, I need a plate. I need a little plate. Put that on. So, the next thing that's going to happen is I've turned the oven down to 50 degrees Celsius. If you can see that. That's 50 degrees Celsius, okay? From 200 down to 50. And all we're going to do is we're going to put
the big
these...
one's mine.
No.
Yeah.
I made them. They're mine.
I made them as well.
I know. That's why you get some. Right.
Damn.
So these are going to go back in. And they're going to be in there for another hour, which will effectively harden and dry them out. But as you can see, you'd think that the suet makes them gooey. It really doesn't. They are... Let's have a taste test.
Do you want the sugar?
Oh, very good. Very, very hot. Oh, what do you think?
Yeah.
Right. People can't see your thumb.
No, I did it on there as well.
Oh, right.
You weren't aware.
Okay. Really good. They are really, really good. A little bit crumbly, but that's the idea. The idea is you wrap them up. You can take them with you if you go camping or you're going out on a hike. These are designed to give you energy during your day while you're out hiking, camping, or whatever. I wouldn't call them an alternative to like MREs or boil in the bags or anything like that. But they're a good complement to it. I would say these are a complement, especially as these are the sweet ones. They're great for having in your pocket and breaking and snacking on as you're walking, or if you want a little bit of a sugar hit of a night time. Maya's going to help us out to another bit. These are really Moorish, by the way. They are really good. So what we're going to do is we'll bring you back in an hour and we'll show you what they look like once they've been hardened in the oven for an hour. That reminds me, Alexa, 1 hour timer. And then once they've cooled down, all I normally do is I wrap them in paper tissue and put them in sealable bags, lunch bags. Well, they are hot, yes. See, that's what greedy gets you. Gets your mouth burnt. That'll teach you. Yeah, so we'll bring you back in an hour. We'll show you what they look like. And then all I do is I grab a sandwich bag like this. Sorry, what I call a sandwich bag. Zip sealed bags, zip Ziplocs. Wrap them in tissue to keep them dry. Seal them in these so that they're airtight. And then I normally end up taking them to work as a substitute for lunch if I haven't got time to make anything in the morning, which I normally don't because I'm quite disorganised and not very well planned.
That's why you have Mum.
And that's why I have your mother, because she's such a wonderful cook.
And the person.
So we'll see you in an hour's time.
Goodbye.
Hey guys, and welcome back. The bannocks have been in for an hour, hardening up and drying out. I'm about to take them out and put them to dry, well, put them to cool down because they're going to be quite warm. Although they've only been cooking at 50 degrees for the last hour, this is what they come out like. And they are now quite dense. Okay. Don't mind the beeping, that's because I've just put something hot on top of the oven. Right, go back in here for the minute. And that's it, guys. That's the bannocks all made. So once they cool down, like I said, I'll be wrapping them in paper, putting them in Ziploc bags, and we'll be having them for lunches and snacks and stuff. I'll probably make some more another day without the suet in. Try a different recipe that Mick from Hampshire Outdoors and Survival suggested with self-raising flour rather than normal flour. And I'll let you know. But let me know in the comments what you think. And I hope you enjoy the video, and we'll catch you on the next one.